everyone, this is Steve Weintraub with Collider, and I am here at the Cinema Center at the Toronto International Film Festival. I want to give a huge thank you to Range Rover Sport for being our sponsor this year and allowing us to cover such awesome films like Anora. How are you guys doing?
Great. Thank you.
I really want to start with a sincere, your film is incredible. It is one of the films, and I don't do this for everyone, trust me, it's easily one of my favorite films of this year. And all of you guys should be so, I don't know what the right word is, but you should, I'm just letting people know that they're going to be blown away when they see your film.
Oh, thank you. That's nice.
I know people have seen the trailer and stuff, but how have you been describing the film to like friends and family?
The film is about a young Russian-American sex worker who on a whim marries the son of a billionaire. And it's a fairy tale dream come true until it isn't. That's how I put it.
It's almost like you've done that before.
Yeah. You have to learn your log lines, right? Yes. Yeah. I've been in interviews where I haven't. I don't know my own film, so.
But like you actually have to like practice like how to say it to people.
Yes.
You know, it's like at the beginning of this interview when I was trying to give you a compliment and I had no idea what I was saying. It's something like that. I definitely have to talk about your performance. I'm just going to jump in. I was mesmerized and blown away, and just I'm so impressed with your work in this film, and it's fearless. What like for a project like this? Like, just talk a little bit about getting ready for a role like this and what it was like reading the script and seeing what Sean had sort of given you as a role.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I did as much preparation as I possibly could for this film. I had a lot of time to think about the character and also just to physically prepare as well. So I did some intensive dance training with a dancer so I could realistically look like a very seasoned stripper. And I learned Russian. I worked with not fully, but enough. I worked with a dialect coach. I really feel like I did my due diligence in preparing for this character because I wanted to really know her inside and out. So yeah, I did a lot of everything, that I could.
Talk a little bit about who you play in the film. I also want to commend you. You did such fantastic work in this, and there are so many great scenes between the two of you.
Yeah, so my preparation was very seriously too, because I learned English and I did big research, lots of sex clubs, for understanding what I have to do. And finally, I understand and started.
Talk a little bit about where the idea came from, and something, there's a through line through all your work about demystifying sex work and not judging people. So can you sort of also talk about that?
Sure. Well, Karin Karagulian, who plays Toros in the film, one of the Ivan's babysitters, I guess you could say. We go way back. He's been in all of my films, and we were talking about telling a story in the Russian American community in Brighton Beach and Coney Island for almost close to 20 years now. We just had to find the story. And then I started making films about sex workers, and it just seemed right that we could meld those worlds. And when we finally just figured out the basic plot, it was interesting this time around because my actors were attached before I wrote the screenplay, and it really helped because I was able to picture Mikey in the role of Annie, picture Yura in the role of Igor, and Karin Karagulian as Toros as I was writing these characters and fleshing them out. It was. I hope I answered your question there.
Oh, I forgot to answer the last part of your question. I'm sorry. I need another coffee, I think.
It's totally cool, but.
No, Sean reminded me is that I read the script after committing to the role and meeting him and us having communication for a long time. But when I did finally read the script, I was totally blown away. Like, it exceeded any possible expectation that I had. Like, I was just like, I was sitting there with my agent and manager. We were all reading it, and I was like powering through the script because I was like trying to just get it as quickly as I could into my brain. But yeah, it was a really exciting day because I had been like eagerly awaiting for a long time. But yeah, it was really special.
One of the things about the film is, as you're watching it, it just feels like you're in the room with these people. It feels real. How much is all of that on the page in the script, and how much are you actually finding some moments, you know, when you're in the setup and figuring out the shot?
Well, because I don't know Russian and Armenian, we had to have a full-length screenplay, and we couldn't deviate much, especially when the dialogue was in English. However, I always encourage improvisation, and when I can do it, when I can figure out a way of doing it, and my incredible actors have that gift of comedic improvisation. I was blessed, and they brought so many wonderful lines to the table, and we were all very collaborative in terms of even further fleshing out the story and developing while we were shooting. Even though we had started with a full-length screenplay. Did that answer your question?
100%.
Okay.
So I ask this question of everyone because it always leads to a fun story. Well, sometimes it does. So you see the shooting schedule in front of you. What day do you have circled in terms of I can't wait to film this? And what day do you have circled in terms of how the F are we going to film this? I'm always pushing everything back in terms of, because I want more time to prep. So I'm never like, I can't wait. So that first part is not relevant to the way I make films, but the second part, how are we going to do this? Wow. Well, so many big scenes because, we were dealing with a tiny budget, but also because, I wanted to see how much, during the scenes that required physicality and stunts, I wanted to see if my actors could do it, and they wanted to do it, and they did do it. So that was amazing to actually to see some of those scenes that I was worried about capturing, being completely just mastered by these wonderful actors who just. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm fucked up. What the fuck am I talking about? This happens first in the morning every time. Yeah,
it's our first interview of the day.
Ready.
I black out. To tell you the truth, I black out production. I don't really remember it. I don't remember it till years later, and they remind me what happened. So it's hard for me to talk about the making of these movies because I don't remember how they were made.
Hey, I'm going to just say a funny story that I've interviewed Joaquin Phoenix, and I've asked him about the way he works. And one of the things he said to me that I just couldn't believe was, he said, I love it when I'm on set and I arrive in the morning and we start filming, and the next thing I know, it's lunch, where I've just disappeared into the role and I don't, you know what I mean? Like, he just forgets. And I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing to be that in the moment where you know what I mean? Anyway, that's
I mean, the wonderful thing about this production was that every night I went to sleep with a smile on my face, knowing that we just captured gold. And it was always because of my actors just giving me so much. And I was so that was really nice, to every night saying, okay, I know this is rough and I know tomorrow is going to be tough, but tonight I can sleep. Yeah.
I will continue the question that I asked in terms of, for you, what day did you have circled in terms of what you can't wait to film it? And was there any day that you were like, how the F are we going to film this?
I was really excited to get to the Gentleman's Club because I was just excited about like being around the women and sort of like exploring my character through her work. So to me, when I think we filmed a few days there, and then we had a break and then we went back, I was really excited to get back because I loved the energy of the club and what everyone was sort of bringing to it. So to me, I was excited about that. And then I would say the last scene of the whole film was one that I would look in the schedule, like flip a couple weeks, and I would see it and my stomach would drop a little bit. And I was like, okay, well, I have 3 weeks until, and then it was like 2 weeks, and then it was 1. And so that to me was I put a lot of pressure on myself for that specific scene. And then when we finally finished it, it was like the total weight off of my shoulders a little bit. Yeah.
So what can I say? I just want to try it. Just wanted to try help to Sean, help to Mikey, because my goals was good movie, and every day Sean says that he was sleeping with smile. I can't imagine that he sleep during this shooting, because every time in the morning he will come back with I change everything, and let's try maybe something new. And it was every day, every morning. And Mikey, every day I asked Mikey, how are you? And she answered, I'm okay. Yeah, but I understand that, okay, if you're okay, okay. And I just try to help them because it's more simple for me than for them.
So as I said at the beginning of this interview, I've seen a lot of movies this year, and I rarely say like favorites and stuff like that because art is, but you're definitely one of my favorites of the year. When did the three of you realize, oh, wait a minute, this might be something special?
I think while we were filming, I knew that it was something special to me and to Sean and to like the rest of our cast and crew. So regardless of an audience perception of it being special to them, like I already felt that it was special. So
Yeah, I think very early on, about a week in, when I saw everything coming together, and because again, I worked with just the perfect cast and the perfect crew, so everybody was working their butts off to make this happen. I saw that happening in the first week, and I remember having a meeting with Mikey, and I said, Mikey, I think we're going to be making somebody's favorite film. At least one person is going to be their favorite film. So yeah.
I don't know. I think that we are inside the film. We don't know what it is. You can tell us what it is, because we are just drive this film inside the car,
Sure. I'll tell you, it's fantastic. I mean, then again, I think Ken also seemed to like it. I heard it did well there.
Yes, that was an incredible experience. We went in not expecting a thing, quite honestly, just very honored to be in competition there, and walked away with dreams coming true. I mean, like it's
incredible. Also because, not to interrupt you, but like I was there were incredible movies there. You know what I mean? Like it was a fantastic, three of my favorite films of the year premiered there. Like it was a great year.
We were in great company, incredible company. Yeah.
So I love talking about the editing process because it's where it all comes together. So talk a little bit about, you get in the editing room. How did the film change in ways you didn't expect, like maybe after a friends and family screening?
Oh yeah, we don't really do test screenings. Do
you not show like your friends or anybody?
Nope, only my two producers.
Really?
That's it. I really don't believe in test screenings. It's like we make our films for us, and if you don't like it, so I'm sorry. It's like we're not going to be making films with the lowest common denominator. There's no reason to take other people's notes and water down the vision. It's just that's
sure. By the way, I completely respect that, but I also think that sometimes. And again, I'm not a director. You're clearly smarter than I am. But sometimes showing the movie to like, you might think this storyline completely works, but if you show it to your producers, I'm sure someone would say to you, that this.
Of course, there's a back and forth. It's usually about running time, and we're usually all on the same page about what makes sense and what doesn't. And I'm talking about my producers, Alex Coco and Samantha Kwan, and then of course there's getting minor notes later on from my wonderful distributors and film sales companies, Film Nation, Neon, Elevation, just hearing notes. But we're already pretty much in a locked place. I edit in order. I don't do an assemble cut. I start from the beginning and edit chronologically and see the film flesh out that way in front of me over the course of a year. So I don't even know if I've made a good movie until the last day of editing. It's very stressful, but it's an organic process that I have to take upon myself each time. And I do communicate a lot with my actors. I give them updates, and everything. And so it still remains collaborative even in the editing.
Talk a little bit about, for the two of you, when you're inside the belly of the beast and you see everything you're filming, you don't really know what Sean's going to select in terms of what take, which angle, you know what I mean? So what was it like for both of you watching the film for the first time, and what was your like emotional reaction when it ended?
I mean, it had been such like an intense build up to watching it for the first time. I was really anxious, and I almost feel like I was putting it off a little bit, not because I didn't want to see it, but because I was like scared in some way that I would have like effed up the movie. I don't know. But when I finally watched it, it was very like surreal for me, a little bit like shocking just to see. I had forgotten like all that I did, I guess, for the character. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm excited to see it for a second time so that I can see it from more of an audience perspective, because I was kind of just watching it as an actor. Do you know what I mean?
Completely.
But I am so in love with the movie, and it's one of the most special projects I've ever been a part of, if not the most special. So I just like continue to be blown away by Sean's work and my fellow actors. So yeah, it's strange though to watch yourself for the first time and to hope that like I did my due diligence and I did my job, hopefully, you know.
Yeah, I can't imagine, honestly. Like,
yeah. So for me and for us, it's this film like a child. It's our child, and of course, I love this. In any case, and when we finish Cannes premiere, I first time see the movie. I don't understand. I'm happy. I'm so happy that I love this absolutely, and I just start to look to everybody and try to figure on what do you feel, how was it, and they started to get back their emotions, and I understand that okay, maybe something worked. Yeah.
I'm just about out of time with you guys, but I have to ask about one thing. And I'm not doing any spoilers because no one's seen it yet, but I have to talk about, there's a 25-minute sequence in this film that is just jaw-dropping in terms of the intensity, the acting, the performances, everything about it. It's just A fucking plus. So talk a little bit about doing that sequence without spoiling anything.
Yeah, it's 28 minutes.
I'm so sorry. 28. My bad.
It's just I'm going to have to spoil a little bit. It's okay. It's a real-time home invasion scene that we wanted to play out in real time to really put the audience in the position that Annie is in this very scary situation, and live in it. So it was all about choreography and very controlled, calculative, I can't talk. I just simply can't talk. It was really just about planning, because it was we're on a very low budget. We were able to carve out 7 to 8 days to be able to shoot this scene. Everybody was on fire. The actors were incredible, and we just had to shot list it and really make sure that we were doing it. We were covering ourselves and doing it safely. They did their own stunts during
I learned
that
this
scene.
today when you were saying it. I had no.
It was really impressive to watch, and also to get, during this very, very stressful, intense section of the film set piece, we also wanted to inject humor. So there was that constant balance of like, okay, well, danger, but then suddenly a laugh, danger, and then laugh, and that was that balancing act that we were attempting.
I'm not sure if you want to add something.
Sure. I just to film something like that, it was very intense, fun, absolutely crazy to be fighting Yura like that, and like with all of my possible strength. It's you really don't know like what it's going to feel like or what it's going to be until like they call action, and you're not just like rehearsing in half speed. You're really like filming that kind of scene, and Yura's like chasing me and grabbing me. It was a very unique experience, and it was fun. Yeah, I love doing as many stunts as I possibly can. And on this film, I think it was really important for me so that you can see my face, and that also as an actor, I know what it feels like to go through all of those things. So yeah, it was a very unique experience. Yeah.
So again, morning, these 7 or 8 days, and Sean in the morning. Okay, guys, we change everything again, and let's do another way. Okay, guy. What does we have to do? Yeah, let's try this. Yeah. We do this, okay. And Mikey, she's super professional because she turned on like 1 second because I need some time for preparation. I try to understand. Okay, we going this and this, and Mikey. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, we can start. Yeah, start. Ah! And she start, and I just okay, yes, I'm in. This is my experience during these 7 or 8 days.
It was a huge mansion, but you could hear her screaming in every corner of the entire home, and you would have like
Mark was taking a nap during some of those scenes. I was like, you were here the whole time while we were filming these crazy scenes? He was like, yeah, I was sleeping upstairs.
Yeah, and we had some of our crew on the other side of the house hearing it and being very disturbed by it. And I was like, okay, it's working. They're disturbed by the.
I was like, that sequence. My God, I can't wait for people to see this movie. That's all I can say. And listen, I could ask you a million other questions, and hopefully in the future I can talk about specifics of the film. I'm just going to say you guys are going to have a fantastic fall season, and enjoy when you get nominated for certain things. Okay. I'm so serious. Thank you so much for coming in. And for everyone out there, for the love of God, you want to see Anora. This is no debate. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.